Hello, ninth grade humanities students. I am going to show you a few things that you need to know to help you find information for the research you're doing on your country. The first thing that I want you to know is that you should not use Google first. Several of you I know are thinking right now, what's wrong with Google searches? Google searches are okay if you're just beginning to look at an idea or a concept, but if you're trying to gather actual information, there are much better sources to go to than Google. I'm going to show you a quick video that some of you have actually seen on TV, I'm sure. And this drives home the point of why we don't use Google.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. I can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
The reason I showed you that is because the internet is inundated with inaccurate information, and if you rely on Google to give you the information that you're looking for, you will likely find things that are wrong, and until you've been trained how to distinguish correct information from inaccurate information, stay away from Google. The second reason that you shouldn't use Google is really when you do a search. The search is probably going to be too broad for you. And again, until you've been trained to do research using the databases or Google searches, you really need to stay away from them. Here I want you to see that when I type in the word Cuba, if I were researching Cuba, I get multiple sites that I can go to. The first one is Cuba at Wikipedia. The second are quotes about Cuba. And then another is Cuba quotes, and then travel information to Cuba. These three things have nothing to do with what you're looking for your research project. So what you'll end up doing is probably landing on Wikipedia, which I'll talk about in just a minute. On the right-hand side of this Google search, there is some helpful information, but this information is not everything that you need. And so why go to a Google search and find information that you don't need at all, like these Cuba quotes, or only get partial information? You should go to a database that is going to help you find everything that you need. The Cuba Wikipedia. The reason that I want you to stay away from Wikipedia is that Wikipedia is a site that anyone can edit. If you go to Wikipedia's site, it's just the Wikipedia is like it's spelled here, you will see at the top that it says it's a free encyclopedia that anyone can edit. That means anyone can log in, anyone with an account, and anyone can get in there and add information about what you're researching. The second thing that I want you to know is that once you dig into Wikipedia a little bit, they have their own disclaimer. Wikipedia is allowed to be imperfect, meaning it's supposed to be imperfect. It is not supposed to be an accurate resource. What I want you to know is that Wikipedia is not a bad place to go if you're trying to settle a fight between you and somebody else and you're trying to get some information on a very informative basis. But if you are using Wikipedia in any research way, you are misusing your sources. What I want you to ultimately use is the database that we have for you here at school. Each of you should have a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper there is a web address, and that web address shows up here in blue, but you'll have it on that piece of paper in front of you. When you go to this web address, you're going to be taken to Benton High School's library data page, and here all of our resources are available. These are resources that you can access for free. And what I want you to see is you can not only access these at school, but you can access them from home as well. It's super easy to use. When you log in, you'll see this first box that says Student Resources and Context. Here's a screenshot of what that page will probably look like. And I want you to see that you can actually search all of these different sources that have been specifically chosen for research in high school. And then simply here you type in the country that you're researching. So if I were to do Cuba here, I type in Cuba, and then once it loads, it's going to show you that it has scanned all of those resources, and over here on the left you'll see that there are 687 resources, reference resources that have Cuba included in it. There are images, there are news articles, magazine articles, and what this Gale database will do is will pull up the ones that you will most likely use, so you do not have to search through all 687 of them. So if I want to look at Cuba, the first thing I can do is look here. Here's the Worldmark Encyclopedia of Religious Practices, and I know many of you need to find information on the religion in your country. All you do then is to click, and it'll take you to the article about Cuba. Here you can either listen to the text being read to you, so if you'd rather have it read to you, you're welcome to listen to it being read. You'll want to use your earbuds for that. Or you can just read through it really quickly. You'll notice here's the population of Cuba. It's primarily Roman Catholic, and it'll give you a percentage, and then it'll break down the rest of it. It'll show you where it is on the map. It'll give you an overview of the country that you can read through. It'll talk about the major religions, the history of the religions, and it may even have pictures to help you. It'll talk about the modern leaders in their religion. And actually, once you scan through, you will notice that it has holidays and festivals, and I believe that's one of the questions that you have as well. When you're on this site, you're simply looking for those headers, those things that you've been taught to look for as you're reading, and once you've found the header, you can skim through and scan through the next bit of information and locate the facts or statistics that you need to write. The other database that you should use is also on the same site that you're going to. So again, on that piece of paper that you have in front of you, you'll type in the web address. You'll come to the library homepage. Instead of student resources and context, you're going to scroll down to the bottom of the page. And at the bottom of the page, you'll see global issues and context. There's a screenshot of what that page will look like. And then, instead of going there, you can just enter your search term right here, Cuba, hit enter, and again, it will take you to all of the resources that you can use to research your topic. So whatever topic or whatever country you're researching, you can enter it into the database and it will pull up the information that you're going to need. So I want to show you a couple of things here. First, it goes directly to information on Cuba. You can get more information by clicking any of the red links. On the right are some of the quick facts and statistics that you may need. Below are some reference materials, including encyclopedias that you might want to look at, in addition to anything else that you saw on the first database that we looked at. You can look for further statistics if you're interested in those, and specific news around your topic. So I want to remind you that although many of you will want to go to Google first, Google is not the best place to start for information. Information is often wrong, and until you've been trained how to distinguish right and wrong information, don't use it. The second reason Google is difficult is because sometimes those searches are too broad. It will bring up things that you absolutely don't need, and having to skim through all of that wastes the time instead of getting right to what you need to be doing, which is researching your country. The other thing about Google is that oftentimes it will bring up Wikipedia as your first choice, and I want you to remember that although Wikipedia is there for information gathering, you should never use it for research. You should never use it in anything that's considered academic or a real paper, because Wikipedia can be edited by anybody, and their own company claims it as a place that should be imperfect, that it is inaccurate information. So instead of using it, please go to the school's database. Again, you'll find the address that I have up here in purple on the little slip of paper that you have in front of you. And once you're there, you're going to use the databases that have already been chosen for you. You'll see them on the screen. There are two of them that you should use, Student Resources and Context. And as you scroll down, you'll see the search box. You'll just type in that search box and find information. Or you can scroll to the bottom of the page and use Global Issues and Context. And again, you'll look for the Global Issues and Context search box and search from here. Any other questions, feel free to pop in the library and ask me or ask your teachers. Thank you and good luck hunting.